Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Ford Harley Davidson 2002 Ford Harley Davidson computer. Is coming from Florida. Tom, this is your computer, and the very dreaded problem with this vehicle is the long crank no start. I already talked to the customer and explained, what could be the potential output of these testings and the problem on the computer, which could be most likely the analog to digital converter, especially after I spoke to them. This is a shop, by the way. All right, let me take you over to the different views. Oh, the camera is off. No, let me just 1 second. All right, so yeah, the camera was not connected. All right, so this is the computer. It's an EK01, which matches the year model of the vehicle. And let me take you over to the folder, which is very minimum now because of, I just have it here. I just got it here. So again, extending crank most of the time, intermittent no start. And this is, they put the family of the computer in here. The VIN number, the last digit, KD72803. And then on the next picture, I take a close look of the actual part number of the computer, which we can see the EK01, and then the 2C6A-12A650-AB is the actual part number of the computer. All right, so that's all we have here for now. So let's see if we can do the test properly. So I'm going to get the full probe in my screen and then put it there. And I have the SUX ready. Yep, perfect. So everything is looking good in there. This is a little glaring here, but all you really want to see here is going to be the RPM when that comes. I already did the parameter reset. And what the parameter reset does is the PAT system, which is the immobilizer system on these Fords. You're not looking at me, right? So that will be important. The PAT system is built into the instrument clusters. All the keys, memory, and everything is stored here, not in the computer. So since I connect multiple different computers to my cluster and my keys, all I need to do is tell this cluster, okay, I changed the computer. Now check the ID for this one and approve it so they can run all the injectors and coils. And that's what I have done. You can do that with any scanner. It has to go over to the security process, and that takes 10 minutes to wait, and that's it. But it makes me able to do the test with my cluster all the time. So I'm going to cycle the key. I want you to keep an eye here, which is where the PAT's light is. So that says staff, and it's now on, and it should go off, and it did. Also, when you get the mileage reading in there, that tells me or tell you also that the communication between the cluster and the computer is good. So that is a good sign. So let's connect first the scanner. And again, KD72803. So that is definitely their big number. In here, I can select anything I know as an automatic module. Let's see what we got in memory codes. It should not be much because it's already being disconnected. So usually it's just fuel pump and P1000. Cylinder head over temperature. Am I giving too much temperature maybe? Because I don't think so, but that's it. So fuel pump circuit high, which is normal. All right, so yeah, we got nothing to go there. So realistically, what I want to do is go over to the data display. I'm going to select, the auxiliary, I think it's the menu. Yeah, accessories, actually. Accessories. And all I really want to select in there is the RPM. So we can see what this computer will do when we're cranking in here. RPM, so I can either, let me close that one. So it will be on the right side, which I think is good. When we see RPM, the graph is going to change color, so it's very easy to watch in there. All right, so in the top, I have the simulator that I use for this, which is the Full Probe 2 from SEA Electronica in Argentina. It's a very good tool, and this is the new software. The tool I have for like almost 5 years, and it's a new software they built for this. I'm injecting signal 51, which is very specific to this module or these simulators. On the gauges you see on the bottom, under the huge gauge, we have the first one I have connected to the 5-volt reference and sensor ground, and it's reading around 5.1 volts in this computer. That's okay. On the left corner of the software, we have the battery voltage, which is 14.2, 14.3. That's correct. So all that is good. with this system, I can do multiple different ways to run it. So I can go into this kind of gear. I don't know if you saw what I clicked, but it gives me mode 1. It will accelerate the module up to 800, which with that signal 51, it would not work. So I want to use the second one, which it says acceleration to it detects injection. And that is good because I want to make sure that we are detecting that. So I can select that, and then I can just auto test. When I click on auto test, it's going to populate a whole list of checks that this software does, fuel pump and all that. And I have almost pretty much everything connected. Let's see what it does. And that will turn terminal 30 ignition, and it will provide all the signals by itself. So let's see that. It tried to run. Oh, actually it did run. So it did run. So this time it passed the test. And sometimes, and this is probably what it happens in here, because sometimes by just leaving the key on for a while, this will start. So you see that it's all okay, and then just injectors, active 4, waiting for 6, and I'm not sure why it says that, because I got all the low boxes next to me. Let me just show you that. If I move this to this view and remove that out of the way, let me take some of these slides out. Then you can see the 2 boxes. Those are the low boxes. They are having 4 injectors and 4 coil on the top, and 4 injectors and 4 coil on the bottom. So I had all 8 connected. I'm not sure why the software is saying that it sees, and also says about the coil firing, it only sees 2. I'm not sure exactly why, because everything is connected. It's running there, so it should see it. But that is software, so that is their software, nothing wrong in here. I think I'm going to keep that view like that so you can see better. All right, so let's turn the computer off once again. All right, so we can do another test, which will be providing myself the RPM. So I can go into 400 in here. So in this case, I need to provide that. I can go into 400, and I can hear and feel the injectors firing. And I hope that you can see. Oh, yes, you can see the RPM is reading, and also on the scanner. And it's reading steadily. All right, I'm going to change this signal now to signal 7, which is for higher RPMs. All right, so I did that. Let's turn the ignition, and I can go manually and select that. And let's go over to 700 or so. And it's a steady. We can see those RPMs in there. Reading normal, nice and steady line. And that's what I like to put that graph in there with the scanner, because we can see the representation on the scanner. The computer reading RPM, so it looks like it has all and every single time here. All right, so this looks like I'm going to have to let it run for a while. So let me go back to the other signal. I'm going to, actually, I'm not going to turn the ignition off. Not yet. Let's just keep going with this test, but I'm going to change the signal to 51. Again, that's the one I use for idle. I have to select 2 different signals because the signal they are providing here, and I cannot change those signals, are not exactly proper for all the acceleration on this computer. Now let's put all these powers on, and I'm going to go over to 400 RPMs. I'm just going slowly because it's a little hard to do with the knob that they put this time. I can hear all the injectors and all the coils. Let's see if the RPM drops, because sometimes it does. Otherwise, I'm going to have to let the computer cool down and then revisit, because sometimes it happens only when cold. They don't put that on the notes. It says extended crank most of the times, intermittent no start. So nothing about temperature related. Let me see if I have anything on my notes in here. So I have to take this out of the way, because otherwise you will see the VIN number, and I don't want to share that. Give me just 1 second. In the meantime, it's running behind the scene. You can see the scanner, so it has not dropped the the information or the RPMs. Tracking information, module repair form, which is the thing that we have here. If I have any other, no, I only have one email, and that is the same information we have here. So nothing. Yeah, I think the best thing I can do right now, because let me see what temperature the module is right now. 87. And if I open it up, it's probably more than that. 90s, no, 87. Yeah, 87 around. I got all his information behind. I'm glad I didn't turn around because all the information is behind. His business card, telephone, everything. All right, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this computer in the freezer for a little bit, let it cool down, and then try cold. So I'll be right back, okay? All right, guys, let's see how cold it is now. All right, the computer is actually colder than that because 58 degrees. This is a little reflective, so but you can see probably 58.4, so completely cold. Now, let me put the full screen, the full probe in the screen, which the computer is off, but that's okay. So yes, you can see that in there. All right, let's power this up. So let me put the signal here. What signal are we using? Signal 51, just in case. And I'm going to put 400 RPMs in here. And good enough. All right, so battery and ignition and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it did not run. Okay, you see it took a little bit to start. All right, let's do that again. So that's exactly the problem. We can now see it happening in here in real time. Again, I probably want to move you here so you can see that in there. Yes, you can see the switches in here. I'm going to switch. Yeah, the problem is I cannot connect this kind of since I'm going to be powering off the computer. It will drop, but you can see it on the full probe. So battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds to start. So this is definitely the issue. All right, let me do it one more time. Okay, so now you can see. Let me turn the lamp off. This is not a problem because it's really dark, and for me, yeah. All right, so battery, ignition in 1, 2, 3. And this should fire right away. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about 4 seconds. But yeah, we can definitely see now the issue happening 100%. Now I can work with this. So I'm not going to let it warm up. And let me do the repairs, guys. So again, this is just a test that I normally do before opening a module or making a customer to spend money when I cannot reproduce. Because if I cannot reproduce your concern, guys, with this, Mike Salazar Diagnostics will not make a repair unless you're just sending it to refurbish. That is different. But if you just want to correct a situation in the vehicle and I cannot reproduce in here, I will not make you spend a dime until we get more testing in the car or being able to reproduce it, because otherwise I don't want to include myself into somebody else's problem, especially when I cannot reproduce it. And I hope that that is understandable, and also you can see the transparency of my business when I give you this test as well. All right, guys, let me open the computer. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished the repairs. I put the computer a little bit on the cooler too, on the freezer to get it cold so we can test it the same way. Let me move you over here. Let's take a measurement and see how cold this is. Let's see, because that's gonna. Let me see here. Yeah, it's reading 78, 79. It's amazing how quickly it can get warmed. Well, either way, let's try to run it just to see if it's. Yeah, cold is going to be the perfect test. But either way, let's run it this time. So we got battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3, and we can see now it's running perfectly every single time. Right. So let's do it one more time. Battery, ignition in 1, 2, 3. It is running every single time. I got the cover and everything removed still, so let me actually put it back in the freezer for a little longer. I thought it was cold to the touch. It's still cold. It's kind of odd because let me just show you that what is in here. Let me see. Not sure why it's showing. Oh, because I measured myself. Yeah, it feels colder than what is in here. It's 75. It says 75, but I feel like really, really cold. And it's so reflective. Yeah, but it's 75. So let me cool it down a little more, and I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, let's see how cold it is this time. And we got 44 degrees. Hopefully you can see it from there. Yeah, 44.9. So it is very cold. All right, so let's do the same thing. Everything, all the signals are ready. So battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3. And as you see, it is running instantly. Even before we get the RPMs in the cluster, the full probe is already sending and showing the signals for all of us. All right, so let's do it one more time. Battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3. Instantly. You can see the signals. Coils. We got 2 coils on the simulator and 4 injectors, even though, like I explained before, if we go over to this view, let me get that out of the way and turn this off, you can see all the load boxes, all the signals are present. So this is definitely a full repair. Let me do it one more time. Battery and ignition in 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's running perfectly every single time. We have no more issues. So what I'm about to do now is run the computer here for probably 1 to 2 hours to make sure multiple stars and everything before I send these back to the customer. But this is a good to go. All right, guys, in these ones, I don't show too much because I don't know, probably 600 videos of these computers where I do all the testing and curve tracer, images with the microscope and everything. So I'm trying to, and actually I just fixed one with a coil driver where I show you everything. If you want to see more in depth how these boards looks inside and everything, then you can visit those. And when it's a normal repair like this one, well, let's consider this normal. When it's the analog to digital converter, which was the case in these ones, especially when it's a signal being received and it doesn't see it sometimes, I know it's the analog to digital converter and there's nothing I can do. It's just, that's it. All right, guys, again, let me just keep going with this testing. If anything happens, I will be coming back in the video for sure. But otherwise, this will be the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.